audio in the background. I need to shut that off. Need to send that to a save server. Is what it is. The sorry, I'm in the process of shutting that server down because again, I mean this is insane. What I'm looking at is DK Alon has blocked off a public right of way. He's not allowed to be where he's parked. The Alamo Rangers approached him and they were like, "Oh, we're allowed to do this. We're down here. We're doing this event," and they all agree with it. And then when I complained to the parking patrol, this park police officer,
Yes, sir.
Officer Perez, 9813.
Yes, sir.
Hey, are you the same guy who told me I'm sorry?
Those some good glasses.
They're thick glasses. You're right. I have a vision
Good
impairment.
glasses. I didn't say thick.
Oh, good. Okay, my hearing's also bad, but I'll take out this earphone. No offense. Are you the same guy I talked to up at Travis Park just last Friday? Was that you?
I wasn't here last Friday.
Okay, excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Either way, I approached these guys. I asked them, why is this guy allowed to park here? Anyone else is not allowed. This guy here?
Because this is technically a private area, so it's whoever the security allows to be here.
Oh, so who owns this property then?
That's a good question.
It is. If you say it's
The
private,
Rangers,
well, you say this is a public street.
until you get to right there, because that's not so public.
No, it is a public. It is a public street. It's barricaded.
With the gate that closes it.
Yes, it's a public street.
Access?
I'm sorry, Officer Perez. You're with Park Police, correct? Do you know what CCDO? I love how you had to look to make sure. Appreciate. Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, I'm gonna give you shit just like you're gonna give me shit.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Some of my viewers will go, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "Hey, it is what it is. We talk shit. We do what we do."
Yeah.
That is a public street. You see that vehicle right over there?
Yes, I do.
It's on a public street.
Yes.
Okay? This whole thing is a public street. However, it is restricted. And as you said, it is restricted.
For those gates.
Okay? And so if it's restricted, who restricts it?
I guess the Alamo property.
The Alamo property.
Whoever.
Okay, and the Alamo property extends to how far?
That's a good question.
It is an excellent question because we brought this up so many times with Park Police
Have you
before.
talked to the Texas land manager?
Actually, we have
Texas.
the Bear County Appraisal District maps, everything else. That's not. But you see that sign right there? Yeah.
What's that?
Have you ever seen that there before you came out today?
I haven't passed by here in
Okay.
a week. I was on
So
vacation.
let me ask you this: as a citizen, if I walk up and just kick that sign down, am I committing a crime?
Depends on who it belongs to. If it belongs to somebody, then
It does belong to someone. It belongs to the person in this vehicle. The same person who told me I can't walk down there.
Why can't you walk down?
Well, they allege this is all their private property, but it's not. That is not their private property. They can't park there. These officers know they're not supposed to park there. They should be giving them a parking citation, and if they are allowed, then they can take that up in the court.
Yeah, they can take that on the court, but I thought they're going to write them a citation.
No, they're not going to because you talk to them and you're like, hey,
They were allowed to be here.
who gave them permission?
I don't. I wasn't here.
You don't. Oh, okay. So again, that's where I'm going back to. If I park my vehicle up here, and these same two officers, and no disrespect, hey guys, thank you CCDO down at 400 North St. Mary's, good guys.
Very good guy.
They enforce parking for a reason because people who park in places they shouldn't.
Now it's a gray area. If it's a controlled access point right here and over here. Now they were allowed by security, whoever that was, I don't know.
Well, when you say they were allowed by security,
Yeah, because security opens the gates. They don't open up automatically. They're physically open.
I can walk down there and show you. I mean, you rode up here, right?
Yeah, you can open them up, but they're watching at all times, so they don't just open on their own. The Rangers have to go out there, undo the lock thingamajig, and then open.
No, that's not true. We can walk over there and we can show you people driving in here all day long. But again, the issue is, okay, so these people have permission by who has given them permission to park on a city street?
Somebody.
somebody has given them permission to park on a city street,
That is correct.
but you don't know who it is.
No, it's a mystery man.
Okay, but you're also telling me the same people say I can't walk past there.
I never said that. I don't even know
You're
what you're
right.
talking about.
You didn't say that. But these same people who say
You
the
said-
city gave me permission to park here.
I don't know if it was the city or if it was the Alamo people.
Okay, is this? I'm sorry. I have to keep going over this. This street is not a private street. Via tries this all the time. Is this street a private street?
What do you mean via trace all the time?
Via says the same thing down by Via Transportation.
What does via have to do with this spot?
Well, this spot
In
right
particular,
here.
this spot that's closed off with the,
Okay, so
fence.
it doesn't matter who closed it off. Is it private property or is it a public street?
But at one point it was. Oh, you know what? I think the city was gonna block it off for parkers. Because remember, there was a plan to close the street off anyways.
There
And I think
is.
It was gonna be by the city.
And there's actually an ordinance. But that ordinance, if you look up here and you look behind the Alamo, that's where the ordinance applies, not to this street.
They were still gonna close this off.
No, they intended to, but they did not pass it here. You know,
Yes. It
right.
looks like they did pass something that had to close off.
No, they didn't.
So that was right up.
So let me ask you another question. You're obviously pretty, you know what I do. You work out of Hemisphere Plaza. That's your headquarters, right?
Yes.
Okay. Were you aware of the 30-06 signs that were down there for 17 years that were illegal?
What?
Were you aware of the 30-06 signs that were down there for 13 years or 16 years that were illegal? Oh,
No, it's,
oh, imagine that. Thank you. Thank you for not blocking a public right away.
I don't know about so much blocking. It's a big open area. You're
It
not
is.
blocking traffic either.
But again, I mean, my thing is, if I come down here, look, officer, if I come down here and I want to make a First Amendment rights protest, see, these officers were like, they came down here and they knew when they showed up. And my video shows that.
First Amendment thing, you're more than your right. That's your right to do so.
But they knew that this guy should not be here. And then they're looking at the sign going, hey, why the hell is this guy telling people they can't walk down here? I mean, you tell me, officer, why are they blocking access to the Riverwalk? It's a private company. Does the private company own that sidewalk?
Unless they work something out.
Well, again, that's when I asked you, if I go kick down their sign, I'm not committing a
The
crime.
other one or the DK one?
Oh, the DK sign.
I mean, it belongs to somebody.
It does. It belongs to DK Alon.
If they show that you caused any kind of damage, then it'd be criminal mischief depending on the amount.
Exactly. And on the other hand, if at this point I tell you 3903, they're preventing me from accessing an area civilly, then that's a crime against them. Are you gonna press charges?
I mean,
Yeah.
there's
See,
multiple access points, but that little spot right there, I mean, that still belongs to somebody. I mean,
and you're right, it does. But does it belong to DK Alon? No, it doesn't.
somebody, and that somebody.
And that somebody is the city of San Antonio. And again,
That doesn't belong to the city. I don't believe so. The DK sign.
you don't believe that area right there belongs to the city of San Antonio? Oh no, the sign doesn't. That belongs to a private organization that came up here and told citizens we can't go down to the Riverwalk because they're filming.
Yes.
And again, they're filming. They think it's their First Amendment right to film, but they think they can restrict everyone else from walking past that sign to film.
Now, if the correct person got the correct permits, at a certain point they could block it off.
Actually, they couldn't. They would have to get a city commercial permit.
Well, whatever permit, it's still a permit.
There you go. Amen.
So if they work the correct permit, then they could block it off. If it were for, I guess, a special event that was going on down there, I don't know what the heck is going on down there. Looks like it might be fun.
They're probably having a good time down there. Honestly, when I spoke to them when they pulled up, the guards across the street came over here, and that was my first question. Why are the guards crossing from the Alamo onto this property? The guards assert this is their property. I'm not going to dispute that.
Oh, yeah, because they have an office in here. They got this, recreation of that.
Eh,
They got the west wall that extends out this way.
but again, where the fine is, the guards don't have authority over.
Yeah.
And that's what the guard told them. I don't have authority over that. And the guard walked off.
Yeah.
But then these people told me, the guard doesn't have authority over it. We can do it, and you can't walk past it. And I said, I don't play that game. I mean, I'm a dick. It's what I do. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to walk past it. I'm going to film it. And whatever DK Allen does, I mean, really, from a peace officer's view, do you think it was appropriate for these guys to park here?
I've seen many people park there.
Exactly.
The powers that be allowed to open up that gate.
And do you think the powers that were allowed just let that guy park down there? They didn't. He just drove up there.
The white car?
The one behind
The
it.
one behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so too. Another catering company?
Yeah. He just drove up there. There's no blocking of that. And again, that's why I'm pointing out. Look, Center City Downtown Operations does an excellent job with parking enforcement. I deal with them all the time about blocked parking signs. Just 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, I praised one of their officers, 9708, about reporting a blocked by vegetation sign. And their officer's like, oh, you're not just dogging us. And I'm like, hey, that's not what I do. I come out here and I show the bullshit, like what's happening out here. You get people who can park and they show someone else, oh, I'm with whatever. Oh, I have business down here. If I pulled up here and my handicapped wife got out of my car, they'd say, oh no, you can't do that. We don't care if you're handicapped. And I go, why? And they, oh, it's restricted access. And you pointed that out. Supposedly this is restricted access. But how many vehicles have come through here since we've been standing here? You're like, well, there's one vehicle. Now there's two vehicles.
Whoever they allow.
Okay.
Because there was a security guard that just went over there. That opened up the gate for the white car to do.
Okay, so the guy with the backpack walking off right now.
Just got permission from the security company. It looks to be a part of the catering company.
So if I understand this correctly, then what you're telling me is that you are not on public property. You are on private property?
I wouldn't call it private.
Well, how do you discern that? I mean, if you say this is not private property, but the security guard can say, I can restrict you from this, but I can restrict you from that.
Not from this.
And he can't restrict anyone from being on that street. I mean, come on, let's look at these. Wow. Double yellow lines. What do those mean in the Texas?
Street, you can cross it. So this was a two-way.
You're right. One way this way, two ways that way.
And 2 lanes going this way.
Okay, so you have the lanes, they're still restricted that way. There's no marking saying otherwise.
Well, I mean, they haven't come out here and tried to clean it up either, as far as that, until...
And we get that, but again,
The plans, because I know there were certain plans to, recreate this into the Alamo if they passed, but I don't know where they got
I'm going
it.
to close out my live, guys. This officer's been cool so far. I do not suspect he's going to beat the shit out of me, but if he does, hey, hey, he's got my permission at this point. He's put up with me for this long. Sorry, brother. I'm closing.